but when you remember the process, and this is what I see. Hello friends. So today I'm in Seattle, which I don't come out here too often, but I came out for an event for financial strategies for small business owners, and it was very enlightening. It was a very enlightening event. It was focusing on retirement, which I wasn't aware of, but still something to keep in mind and start planning for early on. So I got a lot of good tips from that event, and if anything, I feel like I gained the most from the connections that I made already. I definitely feel inspired on how to move forward and kind of spread my business out even wider than just focusing on portraits and videos, but also more on education for other small business owners. So I definitely saw that there's a need for education on taking photos and posting to social media. So I am excited to create more with that in mind. So now, because there were not too many options for me food-wise at the event, I am about to try out this vegan restaurant that I have never been to, and it is called Loving Hut. And yeah, I'm about to check it out, and I'll bring you with me. Let's see. This is so good. It's so nice to go to a restaurant and not have to worry about fish sauce or egg or anything like that. Just be able to eat. It's super nice in here, clean, simple and pretty, and it's just tucked away. I didn't even know this was here. It's really hot. So I've been home for about 45 minutes now from coming back from Seattle. I sat outside with my dog River for a little while and sipped on my iced hemp milk latte, and yeah, was just enjoying some quiet time. I just sat out on the grass and grounded a little bit, and I was actually observing the dandelions. I am just amazed at how they transform from these yellow flowers to these beautiful white fluffy flowers, and in becoming that pretty white fluffy wish flower, it's like if they die first. So there's a lot of dandelions in my yard right now, so I was able to see like the different stages that the flowers are in, and it just made me kind of reflect on life and how we also have to transform and have to change. So it can be hard to remember that sometimes when we're in the middle of change, because change a lot of times doesn't feel great. It's uncomfortable, so that makes it a little bit difficult. But when you remember the process of transformation and change, and recognize that there are different layers that have to be removed, and just remember that we are a part of nature, and the flowers don't have to figure anything out or try hard to come into bloom. They just are, and through life's process become what they were always destined to be. And we are a part of nature, and we let these thoughts in our head determine how we live our life. And most of the time, the mind, because of its fight or flight nature, guides us through fear. So I do my best to live in love instead of fear. It's these thoughts that create the perception that we see, and at any moment we can shift how we view the world. Anyways, I did not even pull out the camera to talk about any of this. I rearranged our living room because I was trying to figure out how can I still be like somewhat outside, because it's a beautiful spring day and the birds are chirping and the sun is shining, but I have work to do. I have so much editing to do. I should probably get to it.
You have to be your biggest fan, and when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that, because you don't know who you're going to be.
Editing. This is what it does to me. So that window plan was working great for a little bit, right? And then I reached over to put my camera outside to get another view, and I was gonna place it on a table outside of my window, and I hit a web, and I look out of the window, and this is what I see. I have major heebie-jeebies right now. I touched that accidentally. Yeah, they help keep bugs away, and that is great. But I don't want to touch them, and that is a little bit close to scared now. Oh, that was a fly. I'm just afraid now. That kind of freaked me out. Okay. Love, not fear. Love, not fear. I love all beings. And they are not here to hurt me, so I don't need to be afraid. I'm talking myself through all of this right now. I'm gonna get my husband's reaction when he gets home in a little bit. See what he thinks so bad. We don't harm spiders, so I don't really know how you deal with something like that. Do you just let them be? I definitely want to make sure they stay outside and don't come into our home. We do get spiders, but that's a lot of spiders, so no thank you. No thank you.
A few moments later.
So I was sitting, I had the window open, and I went to put my camera outside, and I felt my hand like brush up against a web. And then I like look at my hand, and
oh, is that a spider's nest?
those are all spiders. Look, even underneath there, there's like hundreds of them.